Welcome to the channel. I'm Colin Setterfield, and in this session of Spiritually Conscious Soul 101, we're going to focus on where we are in Earth's timeline and the significance of current events. This is a topic that continues to develop, so we will revisit it with new information from time to time. The Earth and humanity are at a crucial nexus in the timeline that exists for our third density planet and human consciousness evolution. You may remember that I covered the amazing construct of our universe with its octave of densities in a previous video. If you missed it and would like to know more about the universal densities, please access it on my video list. The timeline nexus mentioned is where the Earth and humanity transition from the third density planet condition to the fourth density. This only happens once in the lifetime of a planet, that is, within this particular octave of densities. There is an infinite and continuous cycle of octaves ascribed by the eternal nature of the one infinite mind. With regard to our planet's name and its meaning, the popular TV program Gaia has the following to say in an article posted on its website. In Greek mythology, the Earth, also known as Gaia, is called the goddess of all raw maternal power. She is the primal mother of all landscapes, plants, and creatures, the mother of all life on Earth. The article goes on to mention that in the 1970s, a chemist by the name of James Lovelock and his research partner, who happened to be Carl Sagan's wife at the time, proposed that the Earth is a sentient being and gives birth to and sustains all her sentient offspring. This hypothesis has taken hold in the consciousness revolution as a staple consideration of all sentient life in the universe. That is, everything has a level of consciousness, and that level relates to the ascending levels of density vibration. Densities 1 to 3 constitute the illusory projection of materialism and the framework for our observance of everything as separate from everything else. This is a false reality that exists only in this material, observable universe. The fourth density is a transitionary realm that sets sentient life up for promotion to the fifth density and an escape from the illusion of the observable material universe. According to the law of one, Gaia's elevation to fourth density was firmly regulated by universal laws and has already taken place in the late 1970s. The human inhabitants, however, are on a different path, and this, according to the law of one, is due to the inability of many in their ranks to point themselves in any required direction. They will only reach the point of change to the fourth density vibration at some point, it is speculated, between 2012 and 2033. During this time frame, these souls will need to be ready for the harvest before the ascension to fourth density can be effected. Souls that are not able to increase their personal vibrations to the fourth density timeline by the time of harvest will pass on to the astral planes in continuance of the reincarnation cycle. Their third density experience will then continue on another 3D planet somewhere else in the universe. It is therefore important to understand what current events mean for our future and what our life approach should be in the days, months, and years to come. Okay, let's move on. What we once thought to be a conspiracy theory is now becoming a blatant fact. The governments of the many G20 countries are becoming united in a plan to change the current regional sovereign country style of governance to a one-world dictatorship. So, who do you think is behind this ominous push to do away with all the sovereign government powers of the world? It is the brainchild of one man, and his name is Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum. The WEF initiative is to infiltrate all education providers, that is schools and universities, to retrain teachers, brainwash the students who will in turn become teachers themselves. By converting them to a Marxist communist ideology through the introduction of new curriculums in every education system in the world, the WF believes that by the year 2028, every human being on the planet will be under their spell. So who is this brazen fellow, Klaus Schwab? His year of birth is 1938 in Ravensburg, Nazi Germany. He was raised Catholic, graduated in 1961 as a mechanical engineer, received a doctorate in economics, and was an honorary professor at the University of Geneva. He is extremely wealthy and well-connected, and has written several books, the most prominent being The Fourth Industrial Revolution. The WEF was started in 1987, and Klaus Schwab has been directing its traffic ever since that time. He has courted the heads of the G20 governmental authorities, and many have subscribed to his evil plans. His latest initiative is to use climate change with its vague protocols to cajole all governments to follow the agenda of eliminating fossil fuels, the use of fertilizers, and the production of the animals that service the food markets of the world. We have all witnessed the uprising of the farmers in the Netherlands over their government's push to close them down. We are also witnessing the Ukrainian debacle, which is going to cripple the huge supply of wheat to world markets, and together with the Russian annexation of the Ukrainian territory, a gargantuan problem now exists for European countries and their home heating requirements. It is Klaus Schwab who said that by 2030 we will own nothing but be happy. The agenda will curtail all private ownership, restrict almost everyone's movement in all countries, and eventually countries will be termed as regional entities subject to the one world governmental authority. And we've already witnessed the agenda of the POTUS to open all North American borders, making the US, Canada, and Mexico one regional authority for the future. This is not a conspiracy theory, but has been decades in the planning, and with the onset of 2023 has already begun. Also, there are those who control the money supply, who have the control of huge influential corporate structures, that is, technology giants, the pharmaceutical industry, and the mainstream media outlets. All have an impact on everyone's daily lives, and all are part of the mark of this beast. A few of the signs we can watch for as the scenario unfolds are: number one, the rollout by the central banks of CBDCs, that is, central bank digital currency. This initially appears to be a useful means of making and receiving electronic payments, but the disadvantage is that no one will be able to make any transaction with anonymity. Everything will be recorded and scrutinized by a central verification authority. I'll leave the possible implications of this to my channel's viewers. Secondly, continued lockdowns by regional governments to do with the ongoing world health crisis. Thirdly, the introduction of greater restrictions on travel and an increasing requirement for upgraded health records. Number four, health records linked to all government-provided incomes and afforded regional authority privileges. Number five, continued supply of shortages or restrictions on food producers with regard to the production of animal-related products. These are but a few of the potential controls that will be inflicted on world citizens in the years to come. I include this information not to scare anyone, but to prepare all those who are watching. We are observing the onset of a new world order. However, if you're prepared for this, you'll not fear any of it, because the universe has everything under control. Some of the controls that are being instituted by the elitist group, many call the deep state, are in fact aspects of the New Earth's profile. The New Earth is a concept I'll further explain in a later video. Now, the difference between the control of the world's population by the deep state players and those who will exercise the New Earth's oversight is that the New Earth's protocols will be exercised by true servants and not dictatorial monsters intent on crowd control. The New Earth players are of the benevolent order who value all aspects of service to others and not service to self. Under their watchful eyes, we can expect there to be a one-world citizenship where all denizens favor the values of our connectedness to each other, where we all support each other, and the only governing trait is love. We can also expect there to be a universal currency of trade and system that facilitates a fair equity of credit for all. And that, my dear friends, is all we have time for in this viewing of the Spiritually Conscious Soul 101. But before you go, please remember to hit the subscribe button below. If you would like to leave a comment, please use the contact facility on the website listed below. And thank you for watching.